What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden, and welcome back to our regularly scheduled programming. Last week we did a live stream. That was kind of my get back into it after Nats, and it was the first Thursday of the month as well. It took me a little bit longer to get back into it, but I was doing some play testing, and it's all good stuff. So be excited about GOC coming out whenever that gets wrapped up and sent to print. So, last week played a rotation game against Justin, and this week we've got another rotation game, which seems like that's probably going to be the go-to for the foreseeable future, at least the next little while, because that's the biggest thing in Redemption lately. There are a couple of classic decks that I still want to do, especially in Type 2. I have at least two that I think I want to do. Well, at least one. The other one's kind of, we'll see if it happens. But that one's going to be pretty cool, so be excited for that. But rotation, what do we got going on here? I played a game against Frantz. He was running a sort of a Job deck. I mean, during the game, I think I said it was a Job deck, but really it wasn't. It wasn't hugely focused on Job because, well, rotation means that we lost out Job's Faith, we lost Dust and Ashes, a few of those cards that really make a strictly Job deck viable, I guess. I mean, it's still good, but especially losing Dust and Ashes means you kind of lose some of the sustainability, I guess, or what's the word I'm looking for? The what keeps it going, I guess. I don't know. It's just not. It's more vulnerable because if you lose Job, then there's not a whole lot else you can do, and you just have to have a way to get him back or something. But anyways, Chad's deck was really more of a white offense that just kind of has Job in there to be kind of this little side gig that works out really well because it helps Job set up really fast, and it also is only like a few cards that he has to kind of splash into the offense in order to make it work. So pretty cool deck. What we got going on my side here, as you can see, it's a teal deck with a gray defense here. It's mono-Teal, so all of our heroes are teal. If there was a shield, but for heroes, that would be cool. Oh wait, there kind of is. New Covenant. This card is really cool, and I'll be talking about it a little bit as I talk about the offense here. On defense, we got just kind of a gray thing going on, because I think gray has the best enhancements overall right now on as far as defenses go. So let's start out with the Lost Souls like we normally do. You might notice that there are 8 of them, which means we are playing a 57 card deck. We've got, well, I guess 8 of them and Hopper. 57 was just kind of because, I felt like rotation meta might be a little bit more balanced, and we might see some some more slower decks, or just kind of more bulky defenses, I guess, that because the super aggro decks were at least the most consistent ones were kind of based on or built around some classic cards, and so now I think there's maybe a little bit of room for more balance. I don't know. I guess we'll kind of see how things pan out as we have more rotation tournaments, and I play more rotation games and stuff. But there's also a number of dominance that I kind of wanted to squeeze in here. And I also wasn't really sure what to cut. So, a number of reasons. 57 is cool. You should try out a 57 card deck if you haven't already. Anyways, Lost Souls, we've got some pretty standard kind of aggro Lost Souls here. You can see we did not go for the OT Lost Soul Unity or anything, and we are missing one particularly common, I guess, Lost Soul, which is the Exiles. I decided not to play that because Chad and I were testing out the no reserve in the first turn or first round rule. And so I kind of built my deck with that in mind. Um, Chad, I don't think he built his deck with that in mind. So, just a preface that there might have been something, or like his deck wasn't necessarily optimized for that, but I also don't think it takes a whole lot of optimization. Like Exiles is still a good Lost Soul. You don't really need to build around it too much, I don't think. If it does end up being a rule, in my opinion, I'm not a huge fan, but that's just me. Um, I guess I proposed in the Discord a little bit ago, I think it was just like a week ago now, maybe, that an alternative could be maybe both players draw on the first turn, but the first player doesn't get to attack, so they get to kind of like set up their counters, and but they don't get the opportunity to attack on the first turn. So going second could mean you get potentially a soul advantage, or at least the opportunity to rescue a lost soul advantage. Um, Whereas going first, you have the first opportunity to set up some counters like you know golden calf, or the all of the negate neutrals, heroes, that kind of stuff. Um, so I don't know. It's another thing to consider. I think that I mean it might be to the point right now where like going first and not drawing could be okay, but I think if it was balanced in both players drawing, then that would compensate for not being able to rescue on the first turn. So I don't know, just another thing to maybe test if you have a chance to try it out. Um, Maybe I'll try to test it on the channel at some point, but it's just kind of a theory I have, so I'm not really sure who all would want to test that with me. If you do, let me know. Maybe we can get a game in. Um, Anyways, so kind of some aggressive Lost Souls, and then also some defensive Lost Souls, negating characters in other territories to stop things like Jonah and Music Leader. Babylonian Merchants probably won't be quite as popular now because Babylonians lost a good chunk of stuff. Um, but I don't know, maybe there's something still there with Babylonian Unity. Might try it out at some point. But also, distress buys you a little time. If your opponent has a negate neutrals heroes and you get your distress down first, then buys you a little bit before they like have to send them into battle, or negate distressed for a round so that their character can prevent it. And then also Forsaken, which just works with some of the things in the offense and also the defense, and it also works well with like Christian Martyr, which I decided to run. I think is a little bit better in rotation because people aren't banning quite as much, and you also have a few more dominant slots with old falling away being rotated out, and now kind of makes Guardian not really a consideration because of all the, or like even though there's like soul hiding stuff, like there's still Death of Unrighteous and Sheol, but I don't know that Guardian's worth it just for that. I mean, I can say for sure that Guardian's not worth it just for that. So there are definitely other ways to play around that, like Melchizedek, protecting lost souls. Um, so other dominants that, or I guess kind of the other abnormal ones, we've got Valley of Dry Bones in here. That works pretty well because, well, I was doing a little bit more capturing on defense before, kind of playing into the resin, making capture ability CVN. But I actually ended up with just Arrest in Jerusalem. I kind of made a last minute switch for taking out Idol Worship for Stricken. Just because my like evil characters were bigger and negates are pretty good right now. So I don't know, maybe that was something that could have gone either way. Maybe would have been better with Idol Worship, but I also am running Captive Priest, which if you know anything about Lightning Priest, Valley of Dry Bones and Captive Priest are great friends. And so, yeah, I think Valley of Dry Bones really fits well in this deck, and also is another way to get some heroes back, which can be a problem if you're like, lose your Joshua or somehow lose your Jeremiah or your Zechariah. Like those are pretty heavy hitting heroes that you want in this teal offense. Then I also wanted to run Glory of the Lord because it's really good right now. I mean, it's it's been really good. It's not hasn't been worth a dom slot for a long time, unless I mean like I don't know, depending on I guess in like a 57 card deck in Classic, I could see it being played. I'm pretty sure I did play it in the Teal deck that I had on the channel previously, but um, yeah, I think it's pretty good. Not very many people are playing like Rebel and Dust, which is kind of the, I mean, it's not the only counter to it, but it's the main one, or maybe the most common one. So yeah, I think that it comes in handy. And it gives you a little bit of speed. You get an extra card, and also protects Book of the Covenant, which is important with things like Chronicles of the Kings. That's pretty much in every deck. Vain Philosophy was kind of the other flex dominant, and it just kind of, I mean, it's just good right now. With hand information in this deck, hand information is fairly common, I guess, because I have Urim Thummim, I have the First Sacrifice, I have the Lying Prophet, and then the star abilities on Emmaus Road and Balaam's Prophecy. So I'm gonna hopefully be looking at their hand a lot, and so knowing the right timing for playing Vain Philosophy really helps to make it worth it, I guess. Like, I mean, either you can play it to get hand information if you need it, or you can kind of look at their hand with other things and then see like when a good time to use it would be, which is I think kind of the better way to use it, but it's kind of flexible in that way. Sights, Majestic Heavens, I pretty much include in every deck that has Joshua, so I pretty much have it in all of my decks. Kidron Valley, I think is pretty good with Endless Treasures being everywhere, and then artifacts like Golden Calf and Wasting Disease and all the curses that can negate your characters or your neutral cards. I guess all the curses doesn't work super well, or Kidron Valley doesn't work super well against all the curses because it's a neutral card that all the curses would negate. But I think that it's still worth using, especially because Oath of Purity, you can just bounce your teal hero and then put it back down, so you don't have to rely on like drawing into it. Like if you put down all of your heroes and then you're like, oh man, I really need to get rid of that Golden Calf, you can just bounce one of your heroes and then put it back down. Artifacts pretty straightforward. Book of the Covenant, Endless Treasures go into most of my decks, but I guess we can talk about the Book of the Covenant targets in reserve and a deck, because we are running some Tabernacle Priests, so you can grab Covenants from your deck. But in the reserve, we've got 7th Seal in here, just because demons are pretty popular as a defense right now, and we do have some good answers for those, like negating an evil card, interrupting the battle, banishing them regardless of protection, and shuffling them regardless of protection with Gifts and Offerings. But I think 7th Seal is still a pretty good card regardless. And Derek was the first one I saw to run it. He was running it in his second place Nats deck in Type 1. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, because he was running Big Red Banding, where the best block for that is just like Red Dragon or KOT to be protected CBP, and if you just run the 7th Seal, you can withdraw them pretty easily, because Red Dragon and KOT aren't protected from the Covenants, and if you have it active on Book of the Covenant, it cannot be negated. So even if they have like Did God Really Say or something to negate a neutral card, then you're good to go. And I could also, since it's teal, I could play it in battle. I thought about trying to squeeze in Trumpet and Zion to get a little bit more value from it, but opted not to. Maybe it could be in there for Sign of Jonah, since I have like Valley of Dry Bones for the Resurrect ability. But I think that having a couple options there is nice, and Sign of Jonah is just a nice negate too. Obviously Oath of Purity is good, especially in teal, because you can use it as an enhancement as well. But I pretty much have this in every deck too, just because I like the flexibility of being able to bounce your opponent's evil characters to disrupt unity or something like that. If they take one of your characters, you can bounce them, or convert one of your characters, you can bounce them. I just think it's a really cool card. And in the deck we have New Covenant, which works well with our teal unity here, because you can shuffle it to give one of your human heroes maybe into a human this turn. Um, which, if you haven't played or seen a teal deck recently, the trick is to give your Jeremiah or Joshua the High Priest is also in a lot of versions of teal decks. I just couldn't bring myself to not play Joshua. And then you can give one of those two, Jerry or Josh, the ability to ban to a human. You ban to Dutiful Priest so that when they block, you can play Gifts and Offerings and take out their evil character. If you're doing it with Joshua the High Priest, then Gifts and Offerings cannot be negated. If you go with Jeremiah, then Gifts and Offerings essentially cannot be interrupted because their negate would just be tossed. So that's a pretty cool combo. Then you can just get Gifts and Offerings back with the Tabernacle every turn. So that's kind of the artifact side of the New Covenant. The enhancement side of the New Covenant is actually surprisingly good as well. Recently, Rob Smith was talking to me about an interaction he had with a teal deck in one of his games, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I attacked with Joshua. They blocked with Red Dragon or some big non-human." So he was able to play New Covenant repeatedly because you convert all evil humans in battle. If there are none, then that doesn't do anything. Then he can draw one and top deck this card, and since it's a good card being top decked, then Joshua lets you draw it, and so you can just get to hand limit whenever you want, which doesn't have to be played on Joshua. You can do it with any of your heroes as long as you have Joshua in play. So you could just keep on doing that, especially if you're going up against one of those big bad demon defenses, and hopefully you find a battle winner along the way. So that's a pretty sweet combo that Rob had to tell me about because it involved Joshua, and I'm not sure how I missed that one because I feel like I've scoured the entire Redemption card base for cards that say top deck and them says that they would work with Joshua, but I think that this one just kind of slipped under the radar, or didn't really think about the fact that you could keep on playing it if there was no evil human in battle. Because usually the cards I'm looking for are like Territory Class or do cool stuff like Balaam's Prophecy. Gets you multiple cards just in territory. So anyways, keep it on going. Unsuccessful, obviously a pretty good target for Endless Treasures, and if you're doing no reserve access in the first round and you are using Endless Treasures, then you want to have a target in your deck, because a lot of times if you draw Endless Treasures, or if you're playing Offering Your Son like I am and Delivered, then you maybe will draw a book and want to you probably won't want to use it on the first turn unless you're playing Tabernacle Priest so that you can go get one from your deck. But that means you'll probably want to do Endless Treasures on the first turn, and you can go grab something at least so that you can get the value there. Kind of talked about the Tabernacle already. There are three single brigade teal enhancements in rotation. Gifts and Offerings, Jehoiada's Strength, and Eye for an Eye. Jehoiada's Strength is kind of meh. Eye for an Eye is really meh. But Gifts and Offerings is pretty good. So the Tabernacle is looking kind of right now. We lost out Zeal for the Lord, Holy Unto the Lord, Trumpet Blast, all those kind of decent, or ranging from good to decent ones. So it's kind of hit or miss, but I think it was still worth it for Gifts and Offerings. Definitely better than Solomon's Temple, which would have only really been good for Jeremiah. Although if you're playing like a Kings of Judah defense or something, then Solomon's Temple is going to be better there. In my gray defense, I was like, I've really wanted to try out this card because I feel like it would be pretty good. Moabite Camp, evil character lets you look at your opponent's hand and underdeck a good card, and if it happens to be red, you get to draw a card. I think regardless of whether or not it's red, this is still a pretty good ability. It's kind of like a Vain Philosophy, but on an evil character. That's exactly what it is. It's the same exact ability, but you get to draw one if it's red, so just a little bonus there. So that was kind of one of the other things is so let me just say, or give this little like deck building tip. Sometimes when you're building your deck, if you can find like little combos that aren't really combos, but just cards that work well together, I think that that's like can help you make your decks better. Like cards that just work well together, like Moabite Camp and Vain Philosophy. Like if I block with Moabite Camp, look at their hand, they have two battle winners, I can underdeck one of them, and then play Vain Philosophy. If they only have one battle winner, then I don't have to waste my Vain Philosophy. So that was kind of a cool thing. Another one in this deck is like Christian Martyr and Forsaken Lost Soul. Like they're both good on their own, but together they're even better. Um, so yeah, Moabite Camp. Maybe it won't stay in the deck. Chad and I were actually talking after the game, and we're like, yeah, Balaam would actually fit pretty well in this deck because you get a few different cannot be negated or cannot be prevented enhancements here. But I don't know. I like Moabite Camp and the flexibility there. So a couple of dual alignment enhancements that delivered is pretty straightforward. Seventh Bowl just worked well because I was going teal and gray. It's actually kind of one of the reasons I ended up deciding on gray. I mean, obviously Balaam's Prophecy is pretty good too, but you can kind of splash that in wherever. But Seventh Bowl, being a negate on defense, is pretty good. Being a battle winner on offense to just discard an evil card is pretty sweet, especially with woes being played predominantly as evil these days, I would say. Just to negate the negate neutrals heroes, basically. Or like a storehouse or something. But if you're if you're able to pull off a Seventh Bowl of Wrath to discard your opponent's three woes, that's pretty cool. It's also kind of it's a nice toss card if you ever get into that situation, which I guess happens sort of frequently now on defense when you have to block a toss hero like Jeremiah because he's pretty popular. Of course, he's got 12 toughness, so might not be able to get all the way there. But you can get him down quite a bit, and then play your other stuff after that, or just wait for him to attack again, and then toss a stricken, and then you got to 12. There you go. Then he just gets top decked, and your opponent draws him with Joshua anyway. Jeremiah is just really good. I don't think I really need to explain too much there, but the top deck with Joshua is kind of cool. Zechariah was a little bit hit or miss, I guess. Like, I mean, you kind of want to have another Minor Prophets so that he negates characters except for star cards. But I don't want to disrupt the Teal Unity for New Covenant. Maybe it's worth it to just put like a Jonah in here or something, and then I can bounce him with Oath of Purity if I need to. But I do have Joshua and Jeremiah both in here as Temple Priests to satisfy the negate enhancements part, which is arguably more important. Then I have a bunch of Tabernacle Priests to all kind of trigger my Eliezer, for one, who lets me search for Urim and Thummim and Joshua, and then a few other of my heroes, but mostly Joshua. And then I also get some from discard pile too, which is maybe another reason why Sign of Jonah could be cut for something like Trumpet in Zion, or actually I was thinking maybe the Coming Prince, because getting back the First Sacrifice is really good, or getting back like Light in the Darkness or Triumphal Entry, and then Coming Prince top decks it, so you get to just draw it with Joshua. And I have enough green. Well, I have 2 green heroes, which I think is enough. Also with Melchizedek, he's purple, so we get some of the brigades on Coming Prince there, even though it doesn't have any teal. Let's see, I talked about Dutiful Priest already. Aaron and Zadok just kind of there for banding, and Captive Priest just to be cool. Feast of Booths is a little bit of speed. Pentecost and Jordan Interrupted, also speed. Offering Your Son, Emmaus Road, Triumphal Entry for some card selection, like searching. And First Sacrifice, basically to win battles and hand information, and then Light in the Darkness, and Gifts and Offerings to win battles. And we also have Sign of Jonah to just, be flexible and negate cards, resurrect a hero, or shuffle an Evil Fortress. Not really sure what Evil Fortresses I'd really need to shuffle these days. I don't really care about Colosseum that much in this deck, and I don't know, the other ones that people are playing just play to set aside, so you can't really target it with Sign of Jonah. But I think just the ability to resurrect a hero or negate an evil card, still both pretty good. Especially when you're running Jeremiah, so that you just like toss their first thing, negate their next thing, and you're probably good to go. Jeremiah is also really good with first sacrifice, which is why coming Prince might be better. You just get, first sacrifice, underdeck their battle winner, attack with Jeremiah, or if they have two battle winners, you just underdeck one so that they have to toss the other. And then if you can do that again, then you're pretty much set to go. On the defense, we're trying out how the resin Damascus chariots thing goes in rotation. You lose out on Amos chariot and horses, so you don't get to play first, but you do get gold shield, which is still pretty good, especially if you're banding here, so that they can't just play like Angel to win the battle. And Lying Prophet and Sabbath Breaker to get a little bit more speed. Foreign Wives for that chump block that, well, not really a chump block because she's not losing, but just a auto block kind of. And then you have your classic CBN battle winners here, a negate and a battle winner that doesn't say CBN but can be CBN with King Resin, and also is regardless of protection, which can be useful here and there. In reserve, let's see, I mentioned most of these cards. We've got Scapegoat in there just because it can be another negate on offense. It can be a little bit of stall on defense if we really need to. And you can grab it with Offering Your Son. Noah's Ark to grab with Emmaus Road, or Joshua, I guess, in a pinch. Seventh Seal and Oath of Purity I talked about. Melchizedek is just there to be cool and protect lost souls and stop your opponent from searching, sort of, or punish them when they do. Gifts and Offerings, Battle Winner, Flying Scroll. This was all the curses. I took it out because I also took out Gomer, because without Nameless Chariot and Horses to play first, then the whole capture part off of King Resin just doesn't really work because this guy's way too big. And so instead put in Flying Scroll, because a cool thing you can do there is if you play Jordan Interrupted on a Tabernacle Priest, then you can activate a priestly artifact, which could be Urim and Thummim, which lets you look at your opponent's hand. And then it also says you may then deactivate this artifact and activate a different artifact. So then you activate Endless Treasures, you underdeck that, and you activate Flying Scroll from your reserve, and you take their evil character in battle if it's a multi-brigade character or territory class 1, which, odds are it probably is. A lot of them are. So, yeah, it can be a little bit of a battle winner there. Maybe I should have put in Pagan Sailors just to, have the option to do that on defense as well. But I don't know if that was necessarily worth it. Maybe if I get Jonah in here too. And then Gold Shield for some Resin Captain of the Chariots shenanigans. I thought about doing the whole Zera with foreign horses thing, but the problem is that Zera has to ban to a generic warrior, which means that if you want to get King Resin into battle still, you have to do Zera to Syrian Archer to King Resin to Captain of the Chariots, and then you equip Zera with foreign horses, and then you play your CBN capture, which, you could still play something else like Scatter Cheap or Unsuccessful, other good evil enhancements, but that's the only time you can do it, because then you block with Zera, you have to use foreign horses before you draw, or before you band, so then you have to have a gold enhancement to play. So I kind of thought about trying out something else with that, but opted not to go with it in the end and just go straight up gray. It also kind of helped me cut down the defense a little bit, because before it had 4 capture enhancements and 4 more brigades, and it was just kind of a mess. I was like, oh, I can do a little Egyptians and Syrians kind of thing. Yeah, it didn't quite work out. Maybe there's something there if I was playing a bigger defense, but this worked out just fine. So, anyways, enough of me blabbering on. I'm still kind of getting back into the groove of things here. So hopefully in the future I can keep the deck text a little bit more concise. But hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing kind of my thought process on each of the cards and that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into the game with Chad. Let's do this. Alright, I was a little bit more, a little bit worried about it until I drew these two. I feel like now I'm feeling okay. So we got a Tabernacle Priest, so we can search deck for Book of the Covenant. Alright, so I want to die roll. We are trying out the no reserve in the first round for, you know, just to see how it works. Not really sure if I want to go first here or not. He doesn't have any lost souls for me to rescue, but it would be nice to kind of set things up. I don't know. I guess I'll go first. So, do Sign of Jonah. Let's look at my top. I guess we look at the top 3, and then we can see if it's worth pitching something to Prosperity here. I mean, it probably is, but take a good dominant, but I want an evil dominant. Okay, well, drawing those would actually be probably worth it. So yeah, I think we just throw away Feast of Booths here, because it's not going to do us really any good for a little while anyway. I mean, could throw away the hero and then get it back with Sign of Jonah, but I don't have another hero to play Sign of Jonah on, so probably don't want to do that. But since we're doing the reserve rule, I don't have Melchizedek to grab with Remnant, sadly. Restrict players from playing dominance during the next battle phase. Alright, that's fine. Next battle phase is probably going to be a battle challenge, so. He does get to not take a hero from his reserve on his turn, so that's kind of nice. I think I just discard Feast of Booths and draw the 2. Do I want to use Vayne now? I feel like I guess I could just wait until I can just wait until he draws. I feel like that would be better, right? Don't really need to go get Covenant or the new Covenant right away here, so I think I'm just gonna do Endless and get the draw. And then we'll go find Unsuccessful from deck here. Boop. And draw 2. Wallace. Ooh. Now that, yeah, that's probably worth doing on his deck. Ooh. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, we found a Wallace, which is nice. And Foreign Wives, which is fine. Peace, Music Leader, Royal Parade, and Noah's Ark. So we're probably dealing with some kind of... I mean, so it's going to be a toss deck, maybe like a Noah toss. Would be kind of cool. I think we just... Do we look at his hand first? So we're not going to be able to play Chronicles. Okay, we have a negate and we have a battle winner. I think we just go for it. And we can go find Joshua, which is sweet. And Urim and Thummim. Hey, let's see what he's got. We've already got Balin's Prophecy right away, so having... Wait. It's the first turn, so I've only drawn 2 from Prosperity and 2 from Endless Treasures, so... I guess technically Prosperity wasn't even on this turn. So we'll see if he wants to stick with it or not. Alright, yeah, he's gonna stick with it, you know. These are the kind of things that you gotta kind of call yourself on sometimes to, you know, help you remember next time. I think we hang on to Moabite Camp. Captain of the Chariots is fine if we, you know, show it off a little bit. So we'll reveal to all the top 6. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we take Offering Your Son. 2 good cards, so we'll draw 2. We don't really want to draw Darkness. We're okay drawing Hopper, and we're okay drawing Hunter, because we already have lots of souls out. Where do we want Distressed? Humble, Distressed, Humble, Distressed. Well, we saw Peace, so he's probably got a way to go get Noah. So I think we want Humble. This also makes me think that we want to get cards out of our hand here, which we do have to get at least 1 more out. Probably just go ahead and play this Offering Your Son and go find Endless Treasures again. Do we grab New Covenant? Oh, we can grab New Covenant next turn with Book, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, we don't really want to put New Covenant down in my artifact pile yet anyway, so let's, yeah. Was not bad for rotation turn 1 with no reserve access. Yeah, I'll take it. We've got lots of defense here to work with too. We got a Negate, which is pretty good in rotation. We got Battle Winner, that's CBN, which is good in rotation. We have Unsuccessful. I wonder if I should play Vayne here, or if I should just wait for him to attack first. Alright, yeah, we wait for him to attack. We block with Moabite Camp. We underdeck something, and then if he has something else, then we can play Vayne if we need to. Not bad to hang on to it for, you know, next turn when I can focus more on the defense and see what I have to worry about. Didn't draw any more Lost Souls, so it's a good thing that we found the Hopper. Put down 2 artifacts, face down. Kind of excited to see what he's got cooking here. Oh, okay. Homeless Child, so he's going to search for a good dominant. As there's no more Child is Born. He's grabbing Son of God. I wonder if he's just going to play it right away and, like, take out my Humble or something. But if not, I think we just underdeck his Son of God. Um, or do we just equip Gold Shield and get the draw too? No, I think we underdeck Son of God. We see what he's got. So he's got Woes, Angel of the Lord, and Son of God, and Overcome. Oh my goodness. Hmm. So if we do Angel of the Lord, then he can just play 3 Woes and then play Angel of the Lord, but that's a pretty expensive block. Or like expensive rescues, you know, having to use 2 dominants. If he doesn't play Woes, then I can play Vayne, underdeck, Woes. He plays Overcome, I negate it. Yeah, I think we do it that way. And he's got a Profane Daughters and Prophets of Baal. Yep, so he is playing 3 Woes to negate Moabite Camp. And getting his Angel of the Lord back, which he's going to play, which is, you know, I'm fine if that's a 2 dominant block. Take those. Or a 2 dominant rescue. Why do I keep thinking block? I guess because I'm blocking. So forcing him to play 2 dominants. So also makes him play his Woes as good, which I think is not the best these days. I don't know. He knew he knew I had unsuccessful, which is probably why he wanted to, you know, make sure that he got the Angel of the Lord off, because you know, he wouldn't be able to play Overcome on unsuccessful. But I guess, you know, Woman with Child finding Woman with Child having, or she would have had initiative, so he would have gotten to play first there. Maybe we can generate another Lost Soul here. Hannah, that's pretty good. My defense is pretty much looks like a mono brigade defense right now, though. So I mean, I guess, you know, we get 3 from delivered. We found New Covenant, so we don't have to worry about that. He has Shipwreck in hand, which is scary. So I don't really want to put Book on Tabernacle yet, until I have Glory. So I gotta go find Glory somehow. And of course, delivered. I have like all of my artifacts already. So he had Profane Daughters, and he had Prophets of Baal. And he uses 3 Woes. So I think I just, yeah, I don't really need to look at his hand again. So we can go to reserve. Let's go get Golden Calf, I think. Endless Treasures. Yeah, he was saying he should have just taken or used Overcome to negate Moabite Camp. But he didn't know that I had Vain Philosophy, which I probably would have played. So, you know, that was fine. I also had Chronicles, which I could have played if I really wanted to. Let's put down Majestic Heavens. We could go find something from reserve if we want to, or we can bait out a Shipwreck. I guess we could get Melchizedek and then, you know, punish him if he decides to block with Profane Daughters. Yeah, I think that that's solid. Let's put Humble in there because that's probably what he'll want to play um, Son of God on. Don't have a token, so we'll there we go. Tap deck that, draw it with Joshua. We'll put down Melchizedek. And then I think we just attack with Joshua. I mean, like, we kind of put him at risk, but we want to have initiative against Profane Daughters, so. Yeah. Yeah, and I think if he does block, we use New Covenant, just because it's basically free, and it's a draw one with Joshua on the board, so. I mean, 7th Bowl would be nice, because then we discard it. Later he could bounce a converted character and be able to use it again. That's kind of the danger of conversion these days, but I think that that would be fine for, I mean, I'd rather get the free rescue and save 7th Bowl for defense, because it's my only defensive negate right now. Problem with drawing one right now too, though, is that I have too many cards at hand. I suppose I can play Offering Your Son to go grab Endless again. Yeah, I think that that's what I want to go do. Or do I leave it and so I can use Deliver next turn? Oh well. I don't have any other options. Put it back in there. We can activate it later with like Jordan Interrupted into Urim and Thummim into Endless Treasures into Flying Scroll. Pretty cool combo. Do I just underdeck Son of God? I'll just search for it again. Yeah, it seems pretty silly. I think I just discard Delivered here. Yeah. I really want to hang on to New Covenant. Grr. Too many cards. I mean, I can always shuffle it back with the band. And I can search for it and activate book afterwards. Ugh, fine. I'm gonna regret it, but I'm gonna do it. Going to regret it. Don't really like only having one evil character right now, but that's okay. And also the Woes is going to... Oh, right, yeah. I was thinking he was going to negate Captain of the Chariots, but Golden Calf is obviously the better play. I usually like to put the big set-aside counter on it, because that helps me remember. But I guess the note works well, too. That's what Chad usually does, so... Alright, looks like he's playing the enhancement side of Covenant with David to play a Sight or Good Fortress from his deck. Oh, and he drew an Orphans. Didn't see that. Protect Lost Souls from evil cards. Sure, that's fine with me. This deck should probably have Sheol in it because I am running like only gray in the Deceiver. But I guess I am running Melchizedek, so it's, be a little bit of a nombo. But probably still worth it. Like, I've got Oath of Purity, so I can, turn it on and off as I need to. He plays Storehouse from deck, which it's nice that Coming with David lets you play Storehouse, because if he had just searched for it, then I would have an opportunity to play Vain Philosophy in between, like once it goes to his hand, which I, probably would have done. So gonna play Out of Egypt to take a hero from reserve. Who's gonna be Job? Okay, nice. Ooh, a Dutiful Priest. That's alright, we can get him back with Sign of Jonah. Job deck, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Love Righteousness. Probably gonna go grab Hope. Who's gonna grab Peace. Or Fifth Seal. Okay, I guess that works too. Love Righteousness grabs, or Justice Seekers technically, since it searches for a hero. Yeah, it's a good thing he negated Golden Calf. So now he's searching for Hope. Oh, because Hope is in his reserve, so he needed Fifth Seal to grab that. He put down Hope as a hero to take Peace from his deck. And now we're about to be tossing. That's fun. Wonder what he's got. I wonder if he has Leviathan yet to toss against my Captain of the Chariots. Also, if I equip a weapon and it gets tossed, do I still draw 2? I mean, it's probably not worth it, but hey, you never know. Depending on what he activates here too, Chronicles is good. Or wait, no, I guess he has to activate a curse, so I'd have to play Chronicles as good to discard that. But Chronicles could discard Peace, which I could just wait until it's in battle, and then I could capture Job regardless of protection. That might be pretty good. Because Dust and Ashes is not whatchamacallit, in rotation, so So we got Flying Scroll to take my Jeshua, which is a little mean. He has his own Melchizedek, which makes sense. Like, I mean, in a Job deck, chump blocks are kind of your enemy. So protecting Lost Souls from evil cards, which, I mean, like, he's not going to have to worry about it too much in... yes, okay, there's a Leviathan for tossing. He's not going to have to worry about it too much since like most of the stuff rotated out, like Firefoxes is pretty much the only thing left. I think I gotta play Evil Chronicles here. So he exchanged Prophets of Baal for Leviathan in his reserve, so if I blocked with Captain of the Chariots, he would just get tossed into oblivion. So yeah, any card with a place ability has the, from the RAG, an ongoing ability paired with a place effect has an implied condition of while the placed card remains in the placed location. So even though Peace is CBI, Chronicles doesn't negate it, but since it discards it, removes it, then it's no longer active. So I think we're gonna block with Captain of the Chariots. Kind of want to draw, so I think I'm gonna do that. what brigade is safe here? I think we're just going to go with teal. And draw 2. So it is now stalemate, which makes it his initiative. And I think we just go like this. So we've got ourselves a Job. Now what to do with him? You have to figure out how to, I mean, maybe next turn we just let him rescue him before Exiles comes out or something. I don't know if he has an Exiles. Or we just have to negate neutral cards, but we don't have all the curses in here because I swapped it out for Flying Scroll. But, oh, I guess when he draws Exiles we can just hit it with Shipwreck. Takes out Tabernacle, which is fine because he doesn't know we're playing Glory. He should have expected it, seeing that I was playing a 57 deck, or a 57 card deck, if he noticed that, I guess, you know. But I'm just glad we didn't put Book in there, because we saw what he was working with. I'm a little surprised, actually, that he played Shipwreck instead of discarding Joshua. Like, I don't know if he just expected me to have... Oh, I suppose Eliezer can search discard pile for House of Eliezer Priest, so I can just go find Joshua for my discard. Oh, is he about to mayhem? Maybe. If he does, I get Joshua back in my deck. I'm fine with that. Let's see. Ooh, maybe I should have played 7th Bowl to negate and discard Storehouse during that battle. I guess then Job would have just been discarded by the numbers, though, so perhaps not. Alright, we got a Darkness, we got a Hunter. Do we use Light in the Darkness? I can't look at his deck. Doesn't really matter if I look at mine, because I'm about to use Hunter. There's nothing that he has triggering off of searches, so we'll go get a Distress to negate his Melchizedek. Ooh, which I just realized that he missed the trigger on that because I used the search ability on Captain of the Chariots. Oops. That was risky. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear off this Golden Calf. And let's... Does he have a Chronicles to take out my book? I suppose I could just find out with my... Oh wait, he's got Storehouse. Yeah, I think we just take that one. Oh wait. Oh, he did put down my Joshua. Do I want him now? Yeah, we'll just get him next turn. Alright, what does Leviathan do? You can take an Evil Job card from reserve. Let's take an OT artifact from reserve. And I think we just Rescue with Melchizedek. See what he's got. Let's see, this discards single Brigade Side or evil card on the good side. If we get through here, it'll be kind of a fast game. I guess we got to see a good chunk of both of our decks. We got to see the important part of my deck, right? Joshua, right? Oh, he's about to prevent my stuff. Or he's about to play Mayhem. That makes sense. Alright. So we reveal my hand to none and shuffle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shuffle. And sure, we'll keep it completely random, just draw 6. Reveal to owner all. No lost souls. We got to keep sign of Jonah. That's nice. He's taking my captain of the chariots. It's rude. Found a false leaders. Yeah. See what he found here. False piece. Probably go find unsuccessful. Ooh, and he can reserve it because it's used by a blocking prophet. That's nice. Balaam's disobedience. Could play Emmaus Road. Melchizedek isn't a high priest. I don't think I have a way to get to gifts and offerings anyway, but that would be sweet. Alright, so let's play that. And I think I'd, yeah, just go for something in my deck. This only banishes a demon regardless of protect abilities. So sad. And this can get a hero or a good dominant. I could use Valley and add his Job. That wouldn't help me though. But he has Teal. That's pretty sweet. Could go get Glory, but I don't have Joshua, so I guess I don't get to draw the dominant that I take with Triumphal Entry. Bummer. I don't know what card I want. I guess we'll just I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just take Jeremiah. I don't know. So he's beating me by the numbers, so I have to play something else to... I guess he does technically have a false leaders trigger here, so he could play his false piece again. But then my Melchizedek would trigger as well, so... although I guess his deck is protected, so... well, I'll use a search ability again. We'll see if he triggers it this time. I was ready for the um, it's ready for the demons, but was not ready for human protection. So he's playing false piece again. Grr, silly storehouse. Yeah. I probably should have just taken probably should have just taken Oath of Purity and gotten my Joshua back. Oh well. Hopefully Book of the Covenant gets to stick around. Just getting Royal Parade to set up his rescue makes sense. Really, it's kind of sad because we're not really... They're like he shuffled away most of our evil enhancements with Mayhem there. I think I want to keep Jeremiah in hand if I can. Can put down Zechariah, not too afraid of that. And we'll put down Captive Priest. And we'll pass. Deceiver doesn't have any reserve targets. That's maybe something that I could have planned a little bit better in this deck. I do still have Lying Prophet in the deck here though. And Foreign Wives. Yeah. It should be alright. We can go get some value. I guess Lying Prophet doesn't do a whole lot with Storehouse down. He does draw his Exiles, which I assume he's going to want to try to release Job, but that's where we play Son of God. So we're ready. Fortunately, he shuffled Second Coming and not Son of God. I wonder if he's like thinking about a star ability first. Nice part is I don't really need my captain back at this point. I don't really have, I don't have any other weapons to equip for him, and King Resin can ban to him if I really want him. I suppose I can choose, I can choose Melchizedek to attack. Scrapping Covenant with Abraham. I think I'm just gonna play Son of God on it now. Not let him set anything else up from reserve. Yeah, so I think I just choose Melchizedek to attack and then play Christian Martyr, since I don't really have any other negates or anything at this point. And we know that he has what's it called? Royal Parade, which we can actually just let him play first if he doesn't play a banding card or something. Oh man. Grr, Storehouse. That's pretty good. Using Vain Visions, look at his top 6. He can take up to X cards he owns and top deck and or underdeck the rest, or X is the number of his evil prophets, which is currently 3. False Prophets is a pretty decent defense post-rotation. I mean, like, you can pretty much use all the same enhancements I'm using, except a few better ones, like False Peace and stuff, so... putting all the rest of them on the bottom. Must have been, like, you know, his other two assholes. Missed his woes trigger, but yeah, Book of the Covenant would maybe be the best thing that he could have targeted. Ooh, finds the Noah's Ark. Yeah, I don't like that. So now Joshua is protected. That's mean. Do I have any way to bounce my Joshua with my heroes? I don't think so. I don't like that. I don't think I have a way to get rid of Noah's Ark either. So I'm not playing Shipwreck. Maybe I should, because like Noah's Ark is just so popular. That'd be better than Vayne? I don't know. He's activating Covenant of Prayer to take something from his reserve. Basically the same effect that Covenant with Abraham would have given him, except, you know, more options. Although I guess he could have activated Covenant with Abraham on Noah's Ark, so he would have gotten both of them. So, yeah, this worked out. Grabbing False Prophecy from his reserve, which technically he doesn't have to show me. But that's okay. I think he was done with this. Let's go to discard now, right? Yeah, not used by a blocking prophet, so. What did you even search for this turn? Oh, wait. So he got Faith Unbowed, but it has to be used by a Daniel hero to protect neutral cards and good cards from evil cards. So I think our choosing Melchizedek plan should still work. He's going to play Second Coming to go find Son of God to rescue Distressed. A little bit sad. So there's not really any reason to play Damascus from reserve and trigger his music leader. Yeah, so I think that this is the play. So I'm not going to equip, so we get to choose a good king to attack, and it cannot be negated since Resin is in play. And so yeah, we get to choose Melchizedek, who we also would have triggered with Resin. So yeah, it's a good call not to do that. Suppose he probably should have gone in with Esther, but yeah, he wanted to go get Second Coming so he could rescue Distressed, since that was... Oh, maybe his Melchizedek was turned off at that point. Yep, so he gets to bounce all my dudes. And we get to discard Melchizedek. I don't know, maybe it would have been better to discard Woman's Child. Nah, he rescued Distress, so now discarding Melchizedek kind of opens me up to... oh shoot, actually Noah's Ark would have protected. Okay, yeah, so actually Noah's Ark protected Melchizedek in territory, but he would have just played Royal Parade anyway, and I would have not had a negate for it and played Christian Martyr on Woman's Child. So, hey, we got my Captain of the Chariots back without having to rescue Remnant. Making sure that there wasn't anything else that he wanted to do before I take my turn here. Erg. Storehouse, still protecting his hand. Can't find my woes to stop it. So if I draw one with book, what's the worst that he can get? I mean, he just gets Royal Parade, maybe Love Righteousness back, or he could get Hannah back. I think I do. I think I just go for it. I mean, that's his only thing is... Oh, he's got false leaders too. And I would have hand advantage. That's only on search abilities though. So I could just play some cards down. Hey, glory, nice. I like that. Yeah, I think we just give him the music leader triggers at this point. Hope that we got enough. I mean, he's already played Son of God and Second Coming. Played one of them, so if I can get through here, then theoretically we're in a pretty good spot. So let's put down Jerry. Let's put down Zadok. Basically, we just want to make sure that we're not letting him play false piece from his discard pile with false leaders. So we'll let him search again if he wants to. Does Oath of Purity help me here? I don't think so. Let's give Jerry... think we do that. Can put it right next to his. Be all cool. Now we activate book over here. And I will take New Covenant back. We'll activate it over here. And be nice if I could just take music leader, but to the arc. Exchange a good card in hand with a single brigade teal or white. Okay, so here's the plan. Did we leave Aaron in here? I sure hope so. Yeah, okay. What does this guy do? Private box, look at a hand, exchange card, and the matching brigade, owner's reserve. I don't want that. Can I negate that guy somehow? Maybe I should have ran storehouse. Oh well. Yeah, we'll just try it. Oh, I should have played... Oh no, that would have just negated it for the phase. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see if he sees it. I mean, even if he does, he might not have the enhancements to deal with all the dudes. Really would have liked to have banned to Joshua, so that if he, you know, had like a scattered or something, then at least Joshua would be back in my deck. Didn't get to look at his hand. If he's harmed, I get to top deck him. Balaam. Guess we'll just discard Leviathan and draw 2. Seems pretty good. Yep, I think that it is. So the first one gets tossed. Probably taken out Dutiful. Gets to do any hero in battle, so. Yep, makes sense. And there's the scattered, yep. Alright, makes sense. Oh, actually, reveal to owner. I guess I'll do all. Okay. Balaam was unexpected. And that puts me at 9 cards. Not really worried about choose the blocker, so I could probably just put down Sabbath Breaker. Pass. Found an Awake Lost Soul and a Wicked. Balaam, he has Prophet, so yeah, that's a pretty good play, especially because you can run both Scattered and Scattered Cheap in a gray defense, and you know they're CBN against multiple heroes, so Balaam is a pretty good block there. I kind of doubt he's going to use Awake, but maybe. Okay, nope. See if he remembers his woes trigger. Probably gonna hit Golden Calf. Maybe I'll have my Sabbath Breaker. Never know. Maybe I shouldn't have put down Sabbath Breaker because he's the one that gives me initiative to play unsuccessful. Like the best initiative, I guess, of all my evil characters. But I guess if that's the case, and if he did have choose the blocker, then he would have to choose the smallest character, so I would probably get initiative. He remembers woes. He's doing Storehouse now, which I really need to get my woes to negate that. So I wonder if on my turn I use New Covenant to give Jeremiah the banned ability again. I attack with Jeremiah, ban to Joshua, and ban to Zechariah, because Zechariah is post-exilic. I think that seems pretty good, because then if he does have Scattered Cheap, then Joshua gets shuffled back into my deck, at least. I like it. I like it. Yeah, well, there's a Scattered Cheap. But he's going to have another enhancement to burn to Jeremiah as well. Wow. Well, that's disappointing. Why do I always forget that this is a card that people play when they're running Music Leader and stuff? Like, I mean, it's just because of Sheol that people use it. It's dumb. I guess Sheol and Gates, but Gates isn't in rotation yet. Like, yep. I always remembered, you wouldn't want to do it because Darius' decree. That was a threat, and I always forget about today. It's just basically a free shield discard, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Well, I had a lot better hopes about this game until that. Just got rid of all of my heroes in one turn cycle. It feels pretty bad. And now Jeremiah isn't even on top. And my blocks are pretty abysmal right now. I mean, like, unsuccessful is good, but that's all I got. So if he's got a Noah or, anything that prevents enhancements. I mean, I guess I've still got Resin and Captain that can, band and make him play something at least, but he has played them both, right? Yeah, there's Son of God, there's Second Coming. Okay. So he's playing Endless, grabbing Unsuccessful, gives him another option to toss if I do happen to draw into Jeremiah. Choosing not to draw, which is smart in case, I have foreign wives, which I do. Like, really, I feel like this game would have just been a whole lot better for me if I had woes for his storehouse. Could have gotten a well-timed Vain Philosophy. So the nice thing here is that since she's protected, I can block with Sabbath Breaker, and normally it would be mutual, but since it reveals to all, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the rest of his deck. I was like, why did he only do 6? But since she's protected, then it would be my initiative. Did he... He did play Angel. Okay, I forgot that if I ended up underdecking that or not. Alright, there's Zechariah. Finally got to use this Unsuccessful that I, didn't get to use or haven't gotten to use for the entire game. So it's nice to finally get that out of there. And we did get Emmaus Road, so we can get Jeremiah back that way. So we have the rescue back that I wanted to do anyway, which feels good. Ooh, he did have 24 Elders there, which, yeah, that probably would have been better. I did have 3 woes, so I could negate 24 Elders. Oh no, I drew into 3 woes. Now I can negate 24 Elders if I need to, but... And wow, there's Aaron, and there's Valley. Ooh. Just made me excited. Because I get valued with both Captive Priest and Job. So I look at the bottom 10. Reveal to owner, bottom 10. And hey, look, a dominant. Top deck, an Exodus card or a dominant. Oh. Man, where's a Joshua when you need him? It's just about to get shuffled anyway. So we'll fail that. Oh wait, I can draw with book. Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm gonna take it back because you know we're right there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're in business. We're okay. So we can put down Aaron. We can do we play woes now or do we wait until battle? He's got Scattered Sheep and then we play Valley. I think I want to look at his hand now. Yeah. Like we've got so much that we can do that I feel like this should be enough. Oops, not edit note. I want to turn it over. Solomon's Oppression. Nice. Not sure exactly what he gets with that, but I mean it works pretty well with the defense. So you can just toss Delivered, play Scattered Sheep. Okay. So he's got Unsuccessful, Solomon's Oppression, and Delivered. So Scattered Sheep is the only thing that is CBN. But I do need to control another Temple Priest for that. We need to turn that back over and do we want to take something with Flying Scroll? Nah. I think we just do Golden Calf. Okay, then let's, oh well, no, we won't have Jeremiah if he does Scattered Sheep. We will have Captive Priest who can go get someone else. I don't know. Who else do we have? What other Temple Priest do we have? Is it really just Joshua and Jeremiah? That feels a little bad. Alright, I think we... Oops, we got to all on a shuffle. There we go. I think we got it here. I think what we do is we still get Joshua, and we just get Zechariah, and then we add captive priest to get Jeremiah. Okay. Alright, let's do New Covenant to shuffle that to give band and then we can use book to search for New Covenant. How many heroes do we need? In case it doesn't work. Like Zadok and Joshua and Zechariah should be fine, I think. I don't have any more fortresses in Deca Reserve, so yeah, I guess that's fine. Oh, that's just if you control another temple priest, not while. Oh, I didn't even have to worry about that. All right, we're ready. He's not ready for it. Boom. Let's go. So we're capturing captive priest. And add Jeremiah. Oh man, what an epic last battle. The Valley of Dry Bones. Valley is good. Valley is, uh, just the battle extension part of it, I think is pretty solid. As long as you like have some capture stuff in your deck and then like also a capture hero like this, I think that makes it, worth it. I probably should have kept some more of the capture stuff in here, but since you don't get to play first with Name is Chariot and Horses, then like it's just not gonna work out quite as well with having more capture stuff that you don't get to play first off of Resin because he's so big. So just probably won't have initiative for it, but I don't know, maybe against stuff like 24 Elders and Noah is pretty good, then I think that that's still a solid play. So never got to do the Joshua New Covenant combo because he stole it for so long, but that's okay. We got there. Anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up for today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the first game after of the first rotation game. I guess I played one with Justin last week, but that was live, so it was a little bit different. So the first rotation video, at least, back in on the channel. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing some priest action here and a cool Job deck too. That I think would have done really well if I hadn't had Chronicles at the right time to deal with Peace, because I don't think I would have had anything else to work around Job there. So really cool deck by Chad, and another deck that you can try out in rotation. I don't know if he's got the list posted anywhere or if he plans to, but if he does, I will try to link it in the description below. And with that, we'll catch you guys later.